would define a diverse workplace as a structured organization or an atmosphere which consists of individuals possessing a wide range of characteristics, such as age, education, ethnicity, race, religion, and sexual orientation.
I'm astounded. I had heard of AAUW, but I never knew that the organization had such a reach. I always thought it was about, advocating for women faculty, but it's much broader than that. So it's really exciting to see the range of things that you do. And I'm glad that our audience is going to hear more about this, amazing organization.
Thank you, Estelle. And just to take it, to talk a little bit more about one of the programs, the Start Smart and the Work Smart, where we teach women and young girls, how to negotiate salary and benefits packages. I remember my first corporate job when I received the letter, this is the salary we're offering you. We give you so many days to respond. I would have never thought in a million years to try to negotiate a package. So this is really a big deal. Men have been doing this forever and a day, and I'm just happy that there are programs in AAUW's arsenal that can help women and girls in this respect.
Yeah, you're right, Jackie, because I don't have the study in front of me, but it does show that more women will accept the salary they're given rather than negotiate. And it's a lot harder after you accept a salary to come back and say, well, I think I should ask for more money. And, it's better before you even take the job and start working to negotiate your salary in the beginning rather than, okay, now I need to go back and ask for more money.
Absolutely.
So, and that's empowerment. And I'm really proud as well for AUW to empower women, and as Jackie said, men too, are in our organization, to make that effort. And I know when I attended one of the seminars that was sponsored through AUW, not only about the salary negotiation, before you get to that point about whether to apply for a job or to run for a political office, they say women will look at a job description. Oh, if I don't meet all 80% of the duties of what they want me to do, they won't apply. Men may only maybe 50%, and they're willing to, okay, I'll learn on the job, I'll figure it out, and before we even get to the salary negotiation, sometimes we talk ourselves out of even applying for a job.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that empowerment is so key. So you can do it, apply for the job. So thank you for bringing that up. And I'll just mention another thing with higher education, and what Jackie talked about was the things that we do to help in higher education is so key. But once again, if you go a step before that, Jackie was instrumental when our branch, we did a program at a high school, Western High School, to help students called Finding Money for College. And this was years ago, and Jackie was very active in the rest of the branch on helping students to find out what is some of the scholarships, the financial aid you can receive when you're applying for college. So we went back to a school that I graduated, Western High School, which was an all-girls school that I attended in Baltimore. And it was, it was tremendous success. We had a lot of parents come out, a lot of students. We had financial aid representatives from different colleges to come out. And that is so key because that's a barrier. And AUW sponsored that program. And so we not only help once they get to college, we help to get them into the college and help them to find the resources and remove that barrier of I can't go to college and because I don't have the money. So AUW has been instrumental in helping students to remove that financial aid barrier so they can go to college. And the grassroots efforts like Jackie talked about in the community, those are great things to do. So yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
So you've already given actually so many good suggestions to professionals in higher education in terms of how they can foster diversity. And I'm wondering if you have any additional tips, because diversity can seem like, oh, that's only the institution, has enough resources and reach to do diversity work. What can I do? I can't do anything that will make a difference. So I know that you have a million things to suggest that will make a difference.
Well, I have a few, Estelle, and I'd be happy to share. But just as business communities across the country have established incubators and innovation centers and centers of excellence for startup companies and technology, so too should higher education institutions develop best of breed diversity and inclusion programs to foster and promote diversity. Several ways I can think of would be to, and Estelle, you said this earlier, join a network with organizations such as the NAACP, Urban League, League of Women Voters, churches and civic groups. Partner with these institutions at their next convention and their workshop events. Reserve a table and develop a reverse pitch as to why your institution would be a good fit for members of that group to consider joining. Increase the talent pool at your institution by hiring qualified educators and administrative staff from diverse backgrounds. Seek out different diverse job boards online and include diverse faculty members on job interview panels. Promoting and attracting a diverse body is important, but as I mentioned earlier, retention is also very important. Creating mentoring programs, rotation of assignments, and shadow sessions where a junior faculty person or junior administrator follows a more senior leader to important meetings and informal discussions so they can learn the protocol and the inner workings of how the institution conducts business. Organize a monthly brown bag lunch session and have that session be led by a diverse faculty member, and then invite other diverse groups to attend. All of these tips will help to foster and promote diversity at institutions of higher learning.
Not only do we need to work on diversity of getting the students, the faculty, the staff, but what are some things we're doing as far as retaining them once we do get them there? So I'm glad you made that point about the retention of it.
Right, and just recently I spoke with a professor at one of the local colleges, and they have a partnership with one of the colleges out west where they do an exchange. That professor will go to that college and teach either a course along the same discipline or a separate course in a topic of interest for a 2-week period. And they exchange, from institution to institution. And that develops interest. It keeps the excitement going. Students see that there's a special course being taught by an instructor from a different state or area of the country. And so that's another way that we could foster and promote diversity in higher ed.
Definitely. I never heard of that before. That is very innovative. Thanks for sharing that. That's never heard of that, and that's something that I would definitely recommend someone at a college. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, Jacqueline, I was furiously taking notes during your interview because the suggestions that you have are so powerful. They're there are a lot of first step ones, the ones that they require shoe leather to implement. You got to call people and invite them to things, but for the most part, they're no cost. So any institution can do it, and any person who's interested in diversity can participate in it. And then if we kind of loop back to the beginning, as you have a more diverse workplace, there are so many benefits that accrue to the institution and the people who work there. So you're not doing it for others, you're also doing it for yourself. So I have really enjoyed hearing all of your suggestions. They've been super helpful. Thank you.
Well, thank you for inviting me, and I look forward in the near future to joining again.
Thank you so much. I've learned so much and so much wealth of knowledge, and thank you for your interest in this area. diversity and inclusion, and your willingness to take this on and say, this is my focus, my passion, and making a difference in the world, because that's what it takes, is people like you in that leadership role to make a difference and to get the word out in the community and higher education. And that's what we need, is someone, and I know you're very busy, but you're like, even though I'm busy and I got career and things going on, this is an area that I'm passionate about. This is something I want to focus on. And that's really what it takes, is people, like-minded people like you, to get the word out and help other people get on board. And that's what make the world a better place. So thank you for making a difference in the world. And I'll just mention real quickly, since we're coming to the end, is that if you want to find out more about Jackie, she is featured in our book, our Spotlight Person book. And not sure if we can see this, but she's in our book, and she talks about, which is her specialty, enhancing leadership roles. So if you want to learn more about Jackie, she is one of the Spotlight people in our book. And thank you for doing that as well, Jackie. We appreciate that.
Well, thank you for offering me to have my name in lights for a few minutes in that book. I'm really excited by the work that both of you are putting out. The book is, I often refer to it from time to time to brush up on the different subject matter topics that are discussed. And, when I see something of interest to another colleague or friend, I let them borrow the book. I know one time I had to wrestle it back, and it show up for a while, but yeah, it's a great job, and much success to both of you with the podcast and your future publication.